Good morning. Scientists are genetically engineering mice to fly. Let's talk news. Scientists have discovered that this sea snail that you're seeing right now is actually using wings to fly. They've nicknamed the cute little guy the sea butterfly. This is significant in the scientific community because it's evidence of something called convergent evolution, which is the theory that eventually different species which come from different ancestors are going to evolve to have the same features, and this sea slug evolved to have basically the same features as an insect. That's pretty cool, but there are some things in nature that shouldn't fly. But what if they did? I'm here to play a game that I like to call Dang Nature, You're Scary. Ever heard of a flying spider? Well, luckily, they don't exist. Spiders don't really fly, they don't have wings. But their babies can do this thing where they hang onto little webs, and on these little webs, they can glide through the air thousands and thousands of miles. Ever feel a string on your face walking through the summer air? Yeah, that was probably a baby spider, and it's probably crawling its little baby legs all over you. Next up is sharks, and sharks can't fly. Can they? Well, no, they can't. But the fact remains that shark can jump 10 feet in the air, and that's a bit scary because, well, sharks belong in the water. They're scary enough in the water. We don't need them invading the air. Imagine a massive great white shark hurling towards you. That's pretty scary thoughts. What if horses flew? Well, a flying horse is kind of called a unicorn. And unicorns, everybody loves unicorns, right? Right? There's nothing scary about a flying horse. They don't even eat meat. But there is something scary about flying horses, people. Something you need to wake up and realize. If unicorns were real, there would be horse poop everywhere. Apparently, horses can poop up to 50 pounds of poop a day. That's right, 50 pounds of poop a day. Now, that's not going to all come down at once, but imagine just a 10-pound turd dropping from the skies and hitting your head. It would ruin your day, and you might even get a concussion. Try explaining that to your doctor. So let's all take a moment to be thankful that unicorns aren't real, because if they were, oh god. Here's one thing that I'm very glad that it can't fly. It's a snake. Snakes can't fly, right? Right? Well, they can't, luckily. But certain snakes can do one thing, which is glide. They can glide for 328 feet. Forget snakes on a plane. That's more like snakes flocking around the plane, and then eating the plane, and then eating you. I can't bear to tell you this, but I have some very sad news, which is very unfortunate for all of bear kind. Bears can't fly. But this bear right here tried very, very hard, and he regretted it very much. Bear. Do you know what would be scary if they could fly? Killer whales. They're not the Shamu you're used to seeing. They're actually quite vicious in the wild. And, luckily they can't fly. Except they kinda can. Killer whales can jump out of the water pretty high. And you may be thinking, well, didn't you just tell me just a minute ago that sharks can jump out of the water very high? Isn't it basically the same thing? Well, take this into perspective. Killer whales can jump 15 feet in the air, and sharks can only jump 10 feet in the air. Additionally, a great white shark weighs about 2,000 pounds. A killer whale male, 8,000 pounds. Not a very fun time. One thing we're very lucky that can't fly is crocodiles. Luckily, crocodiles can't fly, because if they did, we'd all be dead. But you know what crocodiles can do? They can sprint. Humans can sprint too, but, well, crocodiles sprint about twice as fast as human beings. So next time you're in the bayou and you're cornered by a crocodile, and it's assaulting you, you listen to it, you slowly pull out your wallet, and you give them your money. Unless it's a crocodile skin wallet, in which case you're dead. The next up on our list is something that I don't quite find scary myself, but it's something that a lot of people do find scary, which is mice. Now, mice can't fly. They're not even that fast. Oh, hi, science. What are you doing there, science? 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 Curse you, science. Bats are already kind of just like flying mice, except for the fact that, well, bats are kind of cute, honestly. So what did scientists decide to do? They decided to take the genes of bats and the genes from mice and splice them together. No, you don't do that. Here's a picture of a bat. Luckily, the mice themselves did not develop wings and fly. However, the mice did do one thing, which was they had longer limbs than normal mice. It's kind of like a step where they're taking mice and evolving them into bats. You know what would be really scary if it could fly? Tigers can't fly. Their wing mass would have to be huge. Tigers do fly. Now, I know this one's not an animal, but here's a picture of the first American volunteer group, which is composed of both Chinese and U.S. soldiers. They had like 60 planes, and they fought during World War II, and they did a lot of cool stuff, and they were known as the Flying Tigers. Sure, real tigers don't fly, but these tigers do, and I'm glad that these tigers do, because they're cool. Like, really freaking cool, the fact that you kind of had two countries working together like that. Granted, it was to kill people, but unfortunately, that's kind of just the way that war works. There's something called a poodle moth. It's like a flying dog. How scary can that be? No. nature, you don't do this to me. No. That's creepy. Holy cow. It's going to eat me and devour my soul. Now time for lightning news. According to the BBC, virtually all hospitals in England are in debt. Apparently the NHS finished £8 million in the red last year. And for those of you that don't know, that's about $1.6 billion. In other news, Shia LaBeouf has locked himself in an elevator for 24 hours with 2 performing artists, and he's live streaming the whole thing. In other news, John McAfee, the guy who makes software protection for most computers, he decided that he was going to help the FBI hack into iPhones, which is a bit scary. And also a bit ironic because John McAfee is running for the presidential nominee for the Libertarian Party, and the Libertarian Party principles is kind of like, whoa, hands off government, but here he is like, come on FBI, we can do this. And in much sadder news, author Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, died. She died at age 89, so she had a long life. She was a great person. Her novel To Kill a Mockingbird changed and moved so many people, and it's an important part of American literature today. So rest in peace, Harper Lee. Our thoughts and prayers are with your grieving family and all those you touched through your writing. Anyways, I've been Mike, and this has been the news. I'm going to leave you with a link to an Amazon page where you can get To Kill a Mockingbird for free and read it completely legally. No, this is not sponsored. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you want to see more like it, remember to subscribe. And if you think it's cool and you want to show your friends an indie YouTuber, well, go ahead and show your friends. I would love it. Bye-bye.
Whoa, hands off, government.